Yo, what's good, my fellow Imaginites? It is your boy DEADMANVINCE back with another Black Clover mobile video. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content. Yeah, we actually got another tier list today. I know people love tier lists, love theming for tier lists. And guys, I just want to say tier lists don't actually mean anything because every single person who makes a tier list is gonna have like different opinions, different, findings, because people play the game differently. People like different characters, and you got some people who actually use a character because practically they're good, right? They make sense, they work. Then you have other people who use a character and are just huffing copium because they want their character to be good, like Libe and Raya. But besides the point, this though is going to be a tier list for the supporters in the game, and I'm just gonna get right into it. I don't even know what else I had to say. First supporter is Charlotte. Charlotte, I'm gonna put Wizard King level. I wanted to put her up here in 5th Leaf activity, but like spoiler alert, this Charlotte right here is 5th Leaf activity level. But this Charlotte right here, and are they both 5th Leaf activity? Oh man, let's take a look. I just feel like this Charlotte's not as powerful anymore because of some options that we've gotten in PvP, right? Her skill 1 is gonna apply counterattack to the ally with the highest attack. Her skill 2 gives everybody a 40% all attack increase for 2 turns. If you have her skill page, it gives them total defense for 1 turn, which makes all her damage received count as blocked damage. Then her ultimate, if you have it level 5, has a 100% chance to give everybody on your team counterattacks. If you have it only level 1 though, there's only a 60% chance to give counterattack to certain allies. But like once you get up to that 100%, your entire team's just getting it. Her combined attack applies 12% fortified to all allies, so damage reduction, that's good. I don't like using combo skills much though because I have to sacrifice an ultimate for it basically. If you get her to 2-star, when she takes damage, she gets 1 SP. If you have her 5-star, if she takes 1 damage, she gets 1 SP, or 1 damage. If she takes damage, she gets 1 SP and extends the duration of counterattack of skill 1 and special skill by 1 turn. Oh, so she's 5-star. Her ultimate gives you 2 turns of counterattack. I did not realize that. So you get her 5-star, you get her skill level 5, you have a 100% chance to give everybody 2 turns of and then we get her LR. When all allies attacking are blue, inflict silence for 1 turn on the enemy team at the start of battle, which is super toxic as well. Okay, now she is 5th Leaf activity because I didn't know that she automatically got 2 counterattack turns on everybody, or even on her skill 1 and on her special ability, or no. I did not know that when you get her to 5-star, her skill 1 gives 2 turns of counterattack on 1 person, and her ultimate gives 2 turns of counterattack on everybody. That's ridiculous. I did not know that. I guess most people don't have her 5-star whenever I'm facing them, or I never notice because I use Green Yami, and Green Yami's skill 2 literally takes away counterattack. As soon as they take it, like bro, it's so ridiculous that people can have counterattack and then use different characters to stack extra turns of counterattack, and Green Yami can just wipe it away. You know what? No. She's Wizard King level. She's Wizard King level. Due to the shape of the meta, you got to think this Charlotte has to deal with Marileona, Spirit Dive Yuno, Green Yami. Like there are a lot of different green hard-hitting options right now in the game. Or not a lot, but like some very good options out there. She has to survive all of that. This Charlotte I feel is way more defensive than this Charlotte right here. Like this Charlotte seems like more of an offensive kind of thing. Counterattack, because like she does give you counterattack, but she doesn't reduce the damage you take while you have counterattack. She just gives you counterattack. So Wizard King level is the right place for her. I feel like she's fallen from her, like when she first came out, she definitely was up here. Do you understand giving your entire team counterattack is ridiculous? But like things have changed a bit, and I'd say she's Wizard King level, which honestly she's still on the better half of the list right here. 5th Leaf activity is like no matter where I put you, it's just like oh my god, right? Then we got Green Charlotte right here, right? Green Charlotte is ridiculous. Her skill 1 grants 1 SP to the ally with the highest attack. That's already toxic. Because you're just gonna be fueling back up the SP of the hardest hitting person on your team. It's just already annoying in that regard. This right here, skill 2 grants a designated ally SP plus 2 buff, grants a designated ally debuff immunity for 1 turn, 40% chance to reduce your own skill 2's cooldown by 1 turn, and if you get her skill to level 5, it's a 100% chance to reduce her skill cooldown by 1 turn. And her cooldown is usually 3 turns. So this automatically drops it down to 2 turns. Then if you have her skill page, grants status element immunity for 2 turns as well. Or grants a designated ally status element immunity. Then her ultimate, Charlotte summons countless thorn vines. Or wait, what? Grants all allies 30% reduced damage taken for 2 turns. 30% reduced damage taken is huge because Leona can do her skill 2, give everybody mana sense or mana skin, which gives them 30% damage reduction and status element immunity. That's a very powerful ability. 30% damage reduction. Grants defense penetration level 3 to the ally with the highest attack for 2 turns. And then if an ally has a barrier, grants them an extended barrier duration by 1 turn. Then reduces damage taken. So if you get this skill to level 5, instead of getting 30% damage reduction, you're getting 54% damage reduction, which is insane. Can we see Watch's 5th leaf activity, bro? Because when you fight her, you're trying to get, there are so many DPS options on the enemy team that you're trying to get rid of, and you're just trying to get rid of her because she keeps giving, oh wait, there we go. Her 2-star ability. Every turn grants the ally with the highest attack an all attack barrier equal to 50% of her own maximum HP. At 5-star, every turn grants the ally with the highest all attack a barrier equal to 50% of her max HP for 2 turns and grants self taunt immunity. So she cannot be taunted, which doesn't really matter because she doesn't have any like hard hitting attacks. She doesn't have any attacks that work in a sense where like you want to aim at somebody specifically. Literally her first skill only affects somebody on her team, and her next 2 skills are just like buffs for your team. So like taunt immunity was the wrong thing to give her. Maybe give her extra damage reduction or give her like debuff immunity. Debuff immunity in general would have been better, but like taunt immunity is kind of it's kind of whatever. If all allies belong to the sense attribute at the beginning of the battle, grants all allies 80% of her maximum HP barrier for 1 turn. Now, Charlotte is the type of person that you can put on any team, anywhere, any capacity, and she will get the job done because her defensive capabilities are ridiculous. But then if you have an all-green team, that is a nightmare. Dude, can you imagine Charlotte, Green Yami, Leona, Spirit Dive Uno on a team? Leona and Charlotte are going to be giving extra defensive capabilities to the team already. Imagine you use Charlotte's ultimate, give the team 54% damage reduction, and then you use Leona's skill 2 and give an extra 30% damage reduction because of mana skin. Ridiculous. Not to mention, you know, once he ultimate has invincibility, and then Yami has a shield that pops up every turn if he has ASP. So that team, very toxic already, and she's a very integral piece to that toxicity. Like, without Charlotte, the team is still evil, but like, who are you gonna replace it with? Like, Mimosa or something? Man, I just one-shot Mimosa in the first turn, and Mimosa's useless automatically. So yeah, no. 5th leaf activity for this Charlotte. She's ridiculous. Gauche. My initial thoughts are not the best. I'm gonna read over his kit, and then I'm gonna make some movements here based upon that. Skill 1. Grants an ally with HP equal to 80% or higher weapon enhancement level 1 for 1 turn. It shouldn't be with 80% or higher HP. Grants all allies with 80% higher. It shouldn't be 80% or higher HP. It should just be grants all allies weapon enhancement level 1. It's just, it increases damage dealt by 30%. That's somewhat tamed, you know what I'm saying? And also if you have a skill page, upon landing a crit, dispels 2 DOTs on all allies. That's pretty good, I'd say. That's pretty good. DOT is very heavy in the meta right now. With the new Nozel dropping, who's going to be poisoning you all the time. Leona, Magna, Fuego, throwing burn everywhere, right? The DOT dispellers are actually pretty good. Witch Queen being used with Black Asta. Dispel's very good. Dispel DOT is very good. Skill 2. Applies increased all attack level 3 to the ally for 2 turns. So to an ally for 2 turns. Has 60% chance to grants an ally increased penetration level 2 for 2 turns. Grants an ally intense sunlight. Now that I'm not the biggest fan of because all of these are buffs for 1 person. Yeah. All those buffs are going to 1 person. It's not like a team-wide buff. His ultimate. Uses 10% of your HP to grant all allies 30% 45 for 2 turns. Grants all allies increased accuracy level 3 for 2 turns. Accuracy pisses me off. Grants all allies DOT immunity for 2 turns. Passive at 2-star. Upon using skill 2, grants a random ally intense sunlight. Upon using skill 2 or special skill, grants a random ally intense sunlight. Intense sunlight increases damage dealt by 5%. And then his passive when you get him to LR grants you HP recovery equal to 15% of your maximum HP when the duration of your buff ends. So reading through Ghost's kit, I just feel like something's not there, or something's not connecting for me. That's like, literally, guys, I don't just say mages are bad because I want to say they're bad and I want to start a whole bunch of beef and drama in the Black Clover community talking about people's favorite characters, right? I don't even know if Ghost is anybody's favorite character, but like, some characters, I read their kit and like, just while I'm reading their kit, the faces you see me make, that is my mind like going back to a time I used that character, I used a character with a similar ability, and I'm like, oh, that works this way? No, that's incredible, right? I just hear all these good things stacked on top of each other, and I'm just like, wow, what the hell? But then some characters I read, and I'm just like, oh, it's not clicking for me, right? Like, some characters, I read their kits, and every part of their kit that I read, it feels like it's linking on to the last part. They're trying to make some big overall thing here. Ghost feels a little scatterbrained. That's how I feel reading his. I feel like I'm being like too harsh leaving him in not the best, but like, I don't know if I even want to put him in solid choice, because you have two mages up here that are giving buffs to like everybody on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, they buff everybody. They're not just focusing one mage. Like, Charlotte has skills where she focuses one mage, but those skills are ridiculous. And honestly, it's not even like they just focus one mage. It's like they focus one mage for a different effect, but every mage gets these general effects for everybody, right? Versus Ghost, who most of the time he's just giving like one mage an effect. I don't know. I say not the best. He needs some work. He needs increased accuracy pisses me off. Cause like I feel like nobody knows what accuracy does. And if anybody has gotten confirmation from Vic Gaming or has found somewhere in the game where it actually breaks down the substat and can tell me what the actual thing accuracy is doing, then cool. We can end the discussion. We can squash the beef. Maybe Rye is a better character than I'm thinking, but like, until then, nah, bro, it don't work for me. I don't know, man. I think Ghost needs. First of all, they need to get rid of this 80% or higher HP on the skill 1. It just needs to be everybody just gets weapon enhancement. That's what we need. We need more just like all mage effects, right? Like this skill right here could have been applies increased all attack level 3 to all allies. 60% chance to grant increased penetration to like one ally. It makes sense. Defense penetration is actually kind of crazy. Grants an ally intense sunlight. That's fine. Maybe like another instant. Maybe grants 2 allies intense sunlight or something like that. Because there's 4 people on your team. You're trying to work on one person at a time. It's just not efficient. The ultimate's okay. It sacrifices 10% of his HP, but if you have a healer, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. Ghost just feels like not connected for me. He just feels like he's not connecting. And maybe I just need to use him more. Maybe my opinion will change. Like this is just kind of like my end of year roundup on all these different mages. And I'm just kind of like giving you my thoughts on every single one of the mages. Some of the mages have not been used as much, and that kind of skews my results, right? But like in the next year of the game being out, so whenever the 2nd year anniversary comes around, and I do this again right before the 2nd year anniversary, right? I'll have used every mage a lot more. I'll have gear sets that work really well for each mage. You have to also understand another thing that kind of like limits my rating is the fact that like a lot of my mages, I'm switching gear sets from other mages. So I have a gear set intended for one mage, but since this mage is the same class and they kind of look a little similar, I'll just switch this set to this mage, but it may not exactly be the best set. Prime example, my red Yami's gear is crit rate, crit damage, and then attack. I switched that onto my green Yami and he does big damage, yes, but green Yami is somebody you want to build speed on, because the faster he is, the more and more his turns are coming back, and the faster he can get his skill 1 ability like built up, right? And he goes slower whenever I give him red Yami's gear set. I have a gear set for green Yami, but it doesn't have accessories to it yet. It's not fully transcended, so I don't use it in PvP actually. I've used it in missions by accident before, and green Yami's taking the turn first as opposed to somebody else, whereas usually when he wears red Yami's gear set, he's not taking the first turn. He's taking like the 2nd or 3rd turn, right? So little things like that. You gotta account for every little thing. Alright guys, next up we got Guelder Poisat. Scam extraordinaire. He was always an op. He was always an enemy to the Clover Kingdom. He was scamming for money. It didn't matter. He was selling information off, I'm pretty sure, for money or whatever. But I Have never used him really. I've never like he is such an uninteresting character in the Black Clover franchise. I'll never want to use him, right? I've seen him use in PvP before. His kit's like interesting. I feel like when he first came out, his kit said one thing, it had one specific wording, and then it changed. Honestly, hold on, let me change my webcam because like I just thought about it. I'm covering up like the faces of the people that I'm talking about. Let me okay, cool, that works. He never left much of an impression on me. Let's look. Skill 1. Grants an increased defense level 1 buff to the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. Not bad. Skill 2. Grants a designated ally and self 15% of max HP as a barrier for 2 turns. Grants a designated ally protection for 1 turn. Protection means they can't be targeted. Increase all attack level 2. Gives a designated ally increase all attack level 2 for 2 turns. Ooh, he's not great. Hear me out. If you get his skill that gives a barrier to level 5, he's giving a barrier that's equal to 27% of their max HP. Now, your healer and your guardians aren't going to be somebody who necessarily need a shield because they're going to have such high defense, such high HP, and they'll have extra survival mechanics in their kit. So, obviously the mages that they're wanting you to give the shield to are attackers. And you know this because the designated ally, if he has a skill page, also, because the skill page, when you get the skill page and put it on, that's the most complete version of that skill. So, grants a designated ally increased all attack level 2 for 2 turns. You're trying to increase the attack of your DPSs already. So you're giving your DPS a shield based on their HP when DPS's HP are typically very low. Yeah, that doesn't add up to me. 27% of super low HP is like a super low shield that's gonna get ripped through. I don't know how much I like that. His ultimate. Grants all allies a fortified level 3 buff for 2 turns. That's good. Grants invulnerability to the ally with the lowest HP for 3 turns. That's good. But I've never tested. I mean, invulnerability is a buff at the end of the day. So if somebody has buff removal, but I gotta say, Galdare is not the best tier. Now that I'm looking at Galdare compared to Ghosh, no, I'll save it. I'll save it for the end. Yeah, Fortify and Invulnerability are actually pretty nice, but like the fact that you have to wait until his ultimate just for that, the rest of his kit feels kind of, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. He's really working his hardest to protect attackers. But like, I'm sorry, I'm just telling you right now, attackers don't need a defense level 1 buff. They need like a defense level 5 buff. They don't need a shield based off of their maximum HP. They need a shield based off of their attack. That's gonna get you a big shield. Look at Green Yami. Protection is good. But if an AoE comes, then they're fucked anyway. That's my F-bomb for the video. Yeah, I don't know. LR2. 10% damage reduction when health is 100%. Oh, I hate that. Anytime it says when health is 100%, no. Because the battle changes all the time, you know? The pace of battle, the flow of battle changes all the time. All of a sudden, AoEs ruin passives like this. Why? Because even if it's a AoE that does shitty damage, if you're at 99% HP, you're not getting that extra little proc you need. Max HP increased by 10%. Yeah, Galdare's not the best. He's not the... Cause I am thinking right now, Vic Gaming, why? He doesn't even give himself invincibility. I mean, I guess you could just tap. I guess you could use the skill and tap on him. But like, what purpose would it be? Why would you be buffing him for survivability when you need to be buffing your team just so he can survive and you can try to buff your team later? Oh wait, your team died while he was buffing him. No. Big gaming, I don't know what you were thinking. No. Invulnerability is cool. Protection's cool. But like, protection is easily squandered by because the crazy thing is, he does the protection, he gives the shield, but if the AoE's strong enough, like, it's ripping through that little ass shield and the protection ain't saving him, man. I don't know. Yeah, Galdare don't feel too solid in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. If I was running a mono green team, he's definitely not one of the mages I'm picking up. Hey, I'll give him 1 bonus point. He has a rap star costume like Real and Jack. I like that. That's about it. Yeah, I don't think he's too great. Kahono. So Kahono I never really looked at because I was more so focused on those. Whenever 2 characters come out, I'm like, I know I'm getting both the characters, but like I'm more fixated on 1 character. I want to know all the details for 1 character, right? Let's see. Her skill 1 grants a 40% increased attack buff to the ally with the highest attack for 2 turns, okay? Skill 2, 100% chance. Okay. 100% chance to grant an ally extended buff duration for 1 turn. Grants an ally an increased attack level 3 buff for 2 turns. Grants an ally opening aria. Opening aria increases penetration by 5%, crit damage by 2%, and upon gaining 5 instances of open aria, remove the effect and gain festival aria. Festival aria is 60% increased penetration, 45% increased crit damage, and 15% increased damage dealt, and grants 3 SP buff to herself. What's her ultimate? Because if her ultimate's insane, let's see. Grants a 50% increased mobility buff. Grants self a 50% increased stamina buff. Grants all allies increased crit rate level 4 for 2 turns. I'm sorry. Grants all allies opening aria. Ooh. So her ultimate gives opening aria. Her skill 2 gives opening aria to everyone. Right? No. Opening aria to 1 person. So basically, use Kahono's ultimate, give everybody the crit rate increase, and give everybody opening aria as well. Then use her skill 2, give 1 person opening aria, give herself 3 SP, and then the next turn she comes back around, she's at 4 SP, and she's like working her way back up to like her ultimate. Wow. I like. I haven't been reading the combined attacks. So like, I don't like using combined attack. Like, there are specific characters that I use combined attack. Like Black Ops, he's so good, even his combined attack works, right? Because it stuns. Let's see. Getting her LR. Upon taking damage from a defender, grants a 30% increased damage dealt buff to the ally with the highest attack for 2 turns. That's ridiculous. Yeah, no, that's... Oh, because Mario Leona can AoE, and then you take the damage from her. Asta, AoE. You take the damage from him. Mars has an AoE. Raditz has an AoE. You take damage from a defender, and automatic. Ally with the highest attack is just hitting harder. Upon taking damage, this is a 2-star. Upon taking damage, grants opening aria to the ally with the highest attack. 5-star. Upon taking damage, grants opening aria to the ally with the highest attack. Upon using special skill, grants 1 extra instance of opening aria to that designated ally. Or to a designated ally. Yeah. Opening aria and festival aria sound. See, that's what I'm talking about. When I was reading Kahono just now, everything clicked. The more deeper I read into her, I was like, that's clicking for me right now. That's making sense. Nah, Kahono seems really good. Plus, also, just a little caveat, guys. Opening aria, the same buffs that opening aria gives, I'm pretty sure those are the buffs that Kiyato gives himself with Idol Debut and the exciting dance and all that. So if you have a team with Kiyato and Kahono, and you stack 5 opening aria on Kiyato, and then you stack 5 Idol Debut or exciting dance on Kiyato, he is going to look like the devil. He's gonna be on 5th Leaf activity at that point. Like there's no stopping that boy. There's no stopping him. Next up we got Real. Solid choice. He goes a solid choice. Now, I actually love using Real, but I have to be honest. When Real came out, I thought that he was going to be a replacement, like a solid SSR replacement for for Raditz. Or what? For Voltos. There we go. I had the Midnight Sun, gray skin. Oh, it had me confused. I thought he was going to be a solid replacement for Voltos, but unfortunately, he doesn't boost everybody. Like Voltos boosts everybody's stamina by 20%, and he always takes like his first turn, right? Real is really fast, no pun intended, and he can also boost stamina as well, but he increases stamina by like 100% if you get a skill to level 5, and he only does it for 1 person. So you kind of gotta pick your poison. His skill 2 gives everybody a speed boost. Stamina getting boosted over speed though is always gonna be the better option. So that's why I had to put him like in solid choice. Dude, if his ultimate gave everybody increased, even if they cut back from 100% stamina to like 50% stamina, and it was like everybody got it, oh, he'd be fifth leaf activity. I feel. But like just not having that makes him solid choice. Cause like sometimes I do want to consider throwing Voltos back in over him. But the speed boost does get the job done. The ultimate does get the job done. And what does the skill 1 do? Grants the defender ally mage 15% increased mobility. Oh, I didn't know that. So he makes Black Asta a little bit faster. That's not too bad. At LR2, grants himself, at the start of a turn, grants self SP +1. And then, so 2-star. Then at 5-star, grants self SP +1 at the start of a turn. And upon taking damage from an attacker, grants self a 20% increased stamina buff. If all allies are red, increases his own speed by 5 at the start of the battle. Real is a solid choice. He's a solid choice. I don't really have anything like bad to say about him. But like also, since like genuinely, since I've used him all the time in PvP, I've gotten like a full glimpse of what he really be doing, and like he's a solid choice. I won't put him on Wizard King level. If I'm trying to think. If it's skill 2, oh, and he also reduces damage taken. You know what? Yeah, he can go Wizard King level. Cause I was like, yo, I would put him. I was like, I'll put him fifth leaf activity if his like stamina buff was on everybody on the team. I put him fifth leaf activity, and I was like, what is the one thing that's keeping him from Wizard King level? Honestly, no, I forgot he gets damage reduction 2 on his and like if you have his skill level 5, it's 8% usually for 2 turns, but it can go up to 20% damage reduction for 2 turns. So like yeah, no, real is Wizard King level probably. To be real. Threat of Fate Vanessa. Or no, it's Sally. I'm sorry. Sally. No. What? I think I just took Sally and moved her back here. I think that's what I just did. Sally. Yeah, Sally is weird because when she first came out, I feel like people were trying to use her because she's an offensive, like she's a offensive like support. But then I feel like people realize that like Sally is the type you build up for one really big, one really good turn. Finral is the type where he's so fast, his thing is more of like a constant, like a consistency kind of thing, right? So I like consistent buffers more than like building up to a big turn kind of buffers, right? With Sally, I feel like you need somebody else who's like boosting her, like, cause like Sally's main thing really is that ultimate, man. But like her skill 1 grants 90% life steal, which is ass because she doesn't hit hard anyway. So like that's kind of like stupid. I don't even know why they did that. Her skill 2 is grants an ally increased magic attack level 4 for 2 turns. Grants an ally grants increased crit rate level 4 to an ally for 2 turns. 60% chance to grant ally extended buff duration, but if you get it to level 5 skill, it's 100% chance to extend the buff duration. She has an AoE on her ultimate, grants all allies increased all attack level 3 for 2 turns. Now, my problem with Sally is that skill 2, if you have a physical attacking mage on your team, she only boosts magic attack on her skill 2, which sucks, right? I would rather her have all attack increase on her skill 2. That would be much better in my opinion. And then keep all attack on her ultimate as well. Grants all allies increased all attack for level 3 for 2 turns. Grants all allies with same attribute increased crit damage level 2 for 2 turns. Yeah, this is also kind of like one of those things. So this is kind of like their form of locking a character to a mono team before they have the passives that are like, if your entire team is this color, like no, Sally does extra things in her moves if the team is all red. But her combo skill grants increased magic attack level 5 to a partner mage and 50% chance to increase the partner mage's mobility by 10%. If you get this skill to level 5, then it is an 80% chance to increase their stamina by 20%. Her passive when you get her to LR enhances the increased all attack effect by a special skill by 1 level. Increase this. So it's actually all attack level 4 increase instead of level 3 because of her passive. Then if you have her 2-star, grants 10% of max HP as HP recovery at the start of wave. Then if you have her 5-star, grants SP +2 and 10% of max HP recovery at the start of wave. So that makes her a little better. Getting her SP back is definitely it, because like her ultimate is like the main appeal, really. that's what you want to do for the extra damage, but I don't know. She I really don't like that second skill being locked off to magical attack and not all attack. And it all focuses on, like, yeah, she's in the right tier. She can stay with those. Yeah, no. Sally needs work. Needs work. Okay, Vanessa. Skill 1 grants SP2 buff to the ally with the highest attack. Okay, cool. Skill 2, 60% chance to grant blessing of protection to all allies for 2 turns. And if you get it to level 5, it's a 100% chance to grant blessing of protection to all allies for 2 turns. Blessing of protection is when damage is blocked, restore HP by 8% of the max HP. So if you have somebody who can give total defense and then she does that, you're kind of chilling. Oh, never mind. She gets total defense if you have her skill page. I was like, does she get total defense? Yeah, she gets total defense if you have her skill page. So she's getting total defense and then grants blessing of protection, and then everything is going to be blocked, and then you're going to heal back HP based off the damage you're taking. So decent. That's pretty solid. Uses the red thread of fate. Grants invulnerability to an ally for 2 turns, and has a 60% chance to dispel 2 debuffs from an ally. If you get it to level 5, it's a 100% chance to dispel 2 debuffs. Her passive when you get her to LR is, if all allies are green, grants red thread of fate to defender mages at the start of battle. Red thread of fate. Grants immortality for 1 turn if HP is lower than or equal to 30%. So pretty much she can give defenders that Fuego, that Charmy effect, that licked effect, right? She can give defenders who are already powerful, very powerful, that effect. But as if they're all green. So who's she giving that to? She's giving that to Marileona or Raddies. Okay. Marileona, Raddies, or Veto. Yeah. Those are the 3 green defenders, right? Let's see. Yes, those are the only 3 green defenders. LR2 grants a 50% increased 2-star. Grants a 50% increased stamina buff to a defender mage at the start of your turn. Okay. And then grants 5-star grants 50% increased stamina to defender mage at the start of turn. Upon dying, grants all allies SP plus 8 buff. Wow, that's no, her and Mimosa work really well, because if Mimosa dies, Mimosa gives everybody 100% HP. If Vanessa dies, she gives everybody 8 or 100% HP, but Vanessa gives 8 SP. So essentially, like, topping everybody off. Vanessa seems kind of evil, but she seems average. She seems like a solid choice. Y'all know I can't front on y'all. I've been waiting to fill this gap right here. I was like, there's no way there's like a there's no way there's like a big gap between like these characters and these characters, and there's like no in between, no bridge in between. Like, let's see, Vengeance. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Vengeance was the greatest buffer in the game when the game first came out. He still gives issue to this day. What do I want to do? Honestly? I mean, you gotta think. Vengeance can turn you into a tree. Basically, Vengeance has a chance to stun you on your first, because if you're stunned, you lose your turn, right? But it's only a 40% chance. That's what sucks. That's what really sucks. But his skill 2 grants an ally increased attack, increased speed, and a 60% chance to increase their mobility if their health or if their stamina is 50% or lower, and grants an ally with status immunity change. All that is on one person, but the amount of buffs stacked on one person, that's insane. Then he grants all allies fortify level 3 for 2 turns, which is 34% damage reduction, and he grants a counter attack to the ally with the highest turn. Grants self and partner mage defense penetration level 4. Let's see. If you get him to LR, grants all allies 5% fortify for 1 turn upon using special skills. So not only are you getting the 34% damage reduction, you're getting an additional 5% damage reduction because of his LR, his passive, unique passive. Then, if you have a 2-star, 30% chance to grant 10% increased mobility buff upon taking damage. And then if you have him 5-star, 50% chance to increase 10% mobility upon taking damage. Okay, reading this kit, it is still really good, but it is a bit dated now, because some other mages are doing a lot more. I know people were raging to see Vengeance up here for a second while everybody else was like right here. Like, calm down, y'all, calm down. But like, Vengeance comes down here. Vengeance is just a really like solid unit. He's still really good. Like, he is somebody who at the start of the game, he was holding up, and like he's still holding up to this day. So is Lotus, and Lotus was in this tier in the debuffer video. So yeah, no, these guys are still reigning true. Like being in this tier, this is like S, this is like A, this is like B, this is like C, this is like F. Get out, right? So it's like S and A are still really good tiers, right? So let's mix it up amongst these tiers here and see how I feel. I think that I'm gonna have to leave Ghost in front of Sally because he gives you more defensive options, whereas Sally gives you more offensive stuff and like doesn't necessarily help the survivability of the team. Let's see who I can put Vanessa behind. Herself. Cool. Vanessa stays there. This. I'm feeling that. Because Charlotte's phenomenal. Charlotte's phenomenal, and I've used her. I've not used Kahano yet. Part of me wants to do this just from like what I've read today, but like at the same time, I haven't used Kahano enough to like really like get a feel for it and say like, yes, she deserves to be there, right? So this is what I'm feeling like right here. If you guys are hating, please hate in the comments down below. You can leave your likes, you can subscribe, you can comment. This is just like Deadman's end of the year discussion for like, you know, how these characters are. But I will say, I think that the supporter class is probably in the best place out of all the classes. Because like, with attackers, there are more options you have for people you want to actually put on the team, but you got to remember, there are two times plus the attackers than there are any other class in this game. So like attackers seem like super staggered, super stacked, but like, you got to look at this. Out of all 9 of these mages, in my opinion, 5 of them, over half of them are actually really good. One of them is a solid choice who actually is probably really good, but I'm just kind of like, let me use her more. And then these guys down here, I'm just kind of like, these guys even still are like usable. Not the best option to throw on your team, but usable. And then he's ass. He's weird. He's weird. He's not ass. He's weird. He's quirky, I feel. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, then definitely leave a like, definitely subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified every single time I drop a video because we got something rolling out every day for you. And that's gonna be it for your boy, DEADMANVINCE. But y'all make sure to surpass your limits even in my absence, because if you don't, I will find out and we'll figure out how we gonna fix that. But it's your boy DEADMANVINCE signing out.